The next thing we're going to do is we're going to edit our label component style. Let's just say that our project manager just doesn't really care about the point number or what the description is. All they really care about is just seeing that elevation information. So over here on the left side, I'm going to collapse my point styles because that's concerned with the marker. And now I'm concerned with the label component, which would be this label style. So I'm going to expand that. And I can see that one label style is being used, and I can tell because I see this little triangle right here in the corner. So I know that that label style is in use. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select that. I'm going to right click and choose edit. So my project manager says that he really doesn't want to see the numbers or the descriptions. So I can go over here to the general tab, and right now label text size says standard, label visible says true. This is not an area that I would probably want to change it in. Let's go to layout, and this is probably the area that I want to change it in. So right now it says component name, point description, and we don't want it to be visible. So these are all the settings for the point description. So if I hit this drop down, I see that I have point description, point number, and point elevation. So right now we're working with the settings for the point description. So I'm scrolling down here, and I don't really need to do too much to this because I just need to make them disappear. So where it says visible, I'm going to change this to false. And the point descriptions disappear. And we want the point elevation, so we're not going to do anything to that, but we need to do something about the point numbers. Project manager says he wants the point numbers to go away, so over here where it says true, I'm going to change this to false, and the point numbers go away. So I'm going to go ahead and click apply, so it applies to the drawing back here in the background, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. There's also some other settings that we can change in here, so if I right click here and go to edit, and we're going to go to the point elevation, we can configure the anchor point. Right now it's set to middle right. We can configure rotation angle, attachment, offset. There's a bunch of other settings that we can do here, and we have a tab here called drag state. So we can configure the arrowhead size, the display, a bunch of other settings here, so I definitely encourage you to experiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom into one of these, and I'm going to click on this upper point because you can tell that it kind of overlaps with this lower point, so I'm just going to click on the upper one. And when I roll my mouse over the square, I should get a little pop-up that says move label, rotate label, or toggle sub-item grip. So I want to move the label component. So I'm going to roll my mouse over towards move label. And once I do that, I notice that a little leader pops up there. And I can move this label so that it's not sitting on top of the label underneath. And I can go through and I can do this for my other points. And remember, we can right click here on our label style and configure the way that this arrow looks and how it attaches to our text here any way that we want. After configuring our leaders and our labels a little bit, you may have something that looks maybe pretty similar to this, if not neater than this. So I would say that this came out looking pretty neat. So these are all pretty much spot elevations to our survey point file.